So I made a poll recently and a number of you wanted to see my Genshin Impact account. So today, we are going to be cleaning the dust off of my front door and reviewing my main account of 3 years. Actually, by the time of this upload, it would be exactly 3 years. I had a lot of fond and miserable memories with this one. I would consider it a dolphin, but I've slowly spent less and less. Then I made a free-to-play account and it slowly took over. So anyway, hi, my name is Spade and welcome to my little escapade. Hey, unfortunately, I tried to do this live, but I missed out on so many topics, so I decided to just start over. Shout out to the ones though that came on stream. Alright, so let's take a look at my profile. These are the characters that I currently have on display. I arranged them based on release date or how recently I got them for it to make it look neat in my eyes. I don't have any name cards displayed, but for those that do care, here are the ones that I have. Here are the ones that I have or accomplished. Alright, so let's look at my achievements. I don't really have a lot that are 100% because like I said, this isn't my free-to-play account. I'm not really going out of my way to achieve these achievements to get Primo Gems. So now that you looked at my profile and achievements, let's get straight to the characters. Alright, so I won't be going over every character that I have, just the ones that are my favorite or have a story behind them. So let's start with Arlecchino. The moment I saw her in the Fontaine the moment I saw her in the Fontaine teaser, I immediately was like, yes, I want her. I want to get her. I just think that her design is so cool. It's clean and sharp. I mean, you know, if she would get off her chair, let's just wait for her. All right. So, like, look at her heels if I can. Okay, I can't. But like, just look at it here. Look how good these look. Look at the frills, the blacks, the reds, the golds. It's just such a nice, clean design that she has. And of course, she looks intimidating. In my country, we have a saying. It's in Tagalog. It's called mataray. Or mataray. I don't know how to really pronounce it properly. But yeah, it just means that she has like a very strong presence that's intimidating. And you know, that's what I like about Arlecchino. So I also thought that she had short hair whenever I saw her in the Fatui Harbinger like teaser and whatnot. I was like, oh, she has short hair. And then the moment I look behind, it's like, oh, she has a ponytail. You know, so a lot of characters have this. Like when I saw Changli as well, I was like, oh, short hair. You know, I kind of like the short hair in these characters. And then I saw that she also has a very long ponytail. I was like, all right, you know. So anyway, let's take a look at her stats. So she is at 80. Let's just round it up. She has 80 crit rate and 210 crit damage. Not bad. And then we got her scythe. You know, the moment I knew that she had a scythe, I was like, I have to get this weapon or else it would just not look right, you know, especially with their animations. It's like really oriented around her holding a scythe. So I got the scythe at 10 pity. I was really happy about that. So now let's take a look at her artifacts. So she has my best artifact in terms of CV. I think it's the feather. Yep. We have 17 crit rate and 12 crit damage. Nice. And when I combine that, I think that's around like 47 CV. So that is like my best artifact piece. Sadly, I could not get her whimsical set. I think that's what it's called. Harmonic Whimsy. Yeah, that's what it's called. It took so much to get it. I'm not gonna bother anymore. So we have her at C1. And well, I have a video about this. So if you guys want to check that out, be sure to do so. I lost every 50-50 to get her C1. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm happy. She's, I think, my strongest character that I have. So now let's move on to Navia before I yap too much. Before I continue on with the video, I would really appreciate it if you like this video, as it helps me out a lot and it means a lot as well. And subscribe to my channel to see more... I almost said it again, but subscribe to my channel to see more content such as this one. Also, comment down below which among of your characters that you have is your best build. Alright, let's continue with the video. Alright, so Navia didn't actually catch my attention in the Fontaine teaser. I was like, oh, she looks pretty, and that's about it, you know? It was Arlecchino and Cloran that did catch my eye. But as we did her story, you know, it just like made me like her a lot more. And you know, her spoiler, by the way, before in case you want to skip this before I continue. You know, it's sad story that Melusan Silver had, you know, but they did it for a great cause, and I'm glad that Navia found a way to bounce back after that. So I really like her personality, her character, her like lore, quote unquote lore. So that's the things that made me like Navia a lot more. And I do think that she has the hands down best design in Genshin Impact. Like, to me, she really has everything. Like, it's detailed, but it's all just flows well in her outfit.
A few moments later.
See, this is why I'm yapping too much. But yeah, basically, I love her design. Alright, moving on to her weapon. Before that, actually, let's look at her stats. So, again, 80 crit rate and 230 crit damage. So, really nice. I need more energy recharge, but she manages without it anyway. Alright, so moving on to her weapon. You know, the moment I knew that she had an axe, I was like, I need this weapon. I just love weapons that look different compared to what they normally look like. For example, a claymore. It normally looks like just a huge sword, right? But, you know, it being an axe just made me want to pull on it a lot more. And it, you know, really completes her design. Right, so her artifacts. She has my second best artifact. I think it's a goblet. Yeah. So it's an off piece, but it's 28 crit damage and 9 crit rate. So in total, I think that's around 45, I think. What was that? 9 times 8, 46, I think. Around 46 CV. So that's really nice. I have her at C0, but she is triple crowned. She is not my first triple crowned, but it's the triple crown that I use the most. So again, just to summarize, I really like her character. I love her design. Her weapon is sick, and she's pretty well built. So moving on to Neuvillette. So I have a story about Neuvillette. I actually stopped playing at 3.7. I did come back in 3.8, but after the first half of that patch, I just stopped playing. So I tried my luck when 4.0 came around. I tried out his banner and I got him on my first 10 pull. So I was like, all right, maybe this game wants me to continue playing. So I did, and safe to say that his weapon did not do me justice. But I'll get into that in a bit. So I think he has a really great design. I honestly think that Fontaine has the best design hands down in all of the regions in Genshin Impact. So let's look at his stats. 47 crit rate, 275 crit damage. Not bad. I wish his crit rate was a little bit higher, but I guess 83% works, you know, in full stacks. Now let's take a look at his weapon. So his weapon is the culprit of me having 3 Staff of Homas. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. I do wish though that his weapon had gold accents to match him better instead of it all just being silver, but you know, it is what it is. And then I have pretty decent 4-piece Marashose Hunter or Maheshose Hunter. So not bad, nothing special, I guess. So yeah, he is at C0. His talents are at 10, 8, 10. So yeah, nothing too crazy, just well built, and I do like his design. Alright, so moving on to Zhongli. So Zhongli is my very first...
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Yeah, this happened on stream too, so... uh, so he's my first limited 5-star character. So let me just get here so that I don't get interrupted by him. So there's this Dainslift quest where you had to fight a Ruin Hunter for the first time, I believe, with the Abyss Mages around. Dude, I could not beat that. So, you know, Zhongli's banner was around during that time. I pulled on him, I got him, and yeah, I completed the story quest. It made it so much easier, so I do thank him for that. And he has been a consistent shielder in my team and has made me survive so many contents in the game. Now let's take a look at his stats. So I did kind of build him as a sub DPS, although I wish that he had more crit rate. But, you know, it is what it is. So he's at 41 HP and pretty decent crit ratio. His artifacts aren't too, you know, crazy. He is at C0 and 8-10-10. Alright, so moving on to one of my personal favorites is Sino. Because Sino does remind me a bit of myself. Both of us love cracking corny jokes. So that's what makes me really like him. I also love the Anubis theme he has going on. And Electro is just my favorite element out of all of the games, to be honest. So let's take a look at his stats. He's at 76 crit rate, 238 crit damage. Not bad, decently built. Let's look at his weapon. Well, you already see his weapon. His artifacts aren't too crazy. And he is the only character that I have at C2. I did not do this the moment he came out. I did this over time. So, you know, I like this character a lot. So I did not mind giving him his C2. He does have great animations. However, as time went on, I did not like his gameplay, mainly because I had to keep on switching out to Nahida to reset the Dendro reactions and all of that. So eventually, he started becoming a less used character in my account. But I still really like him nonetheless. His talents are 6-10-10. He also has one of my favorite voice actors, being Alejandro Sab. Let me say that properly. Alejandro Sab, I think. Or, alright, let's just say Alejandro Sab. He voices so many characters that I really like in the games that I play. For example, in Honkai Star Rail, Jingyuan. He also plays Sanada Senpai in... I could just say Sanada, I don't have to add that. But he plays Sanada in Persona 3 Reload. And, you know, I watch his streams every now and then as Sayu. Alright, so moving on to the Raiden Shogun. So, she is my first character that I really spent. And I kind of regret that. But, you know, she's been a constant in my account. So, it ain't that bad, right? So, let's move on to her stats. She's at 72 crit rate. 153 crit damage. Not bad. Not bad. So her weapon was very difficult to get, which is why I said that she's the first character I had to spend for. At first, I got the Skyward Spine, and then I got Kokumi's weapon. And at that point, it was like, I think a day left in the weapon banner. So I was like, ugh, I only have one more 10 pull. I don't think I'll be able to get her weapon. And in that very 10 pull, I got her weapon. So it ended well, I suppose. Moving on to her artifacts. She has my best ER Sands, which is roughly about 40 CV. And then this is also one of my best goblets. I have an onset Electro goblet that is, you know, 10% attack, 15 crit rate, and 7 crit damage or 8 crit damage. So in total, that is about, I would say, 39 CV, I think, or 38, around there. But yeah, it took about over 2 years to get her a proper 4-piece emblem set. You know, that domain is the bane of so many people's existence. And I have that experience as well. So it is what it is. I'm glad that it's all over now. So 6-10-10, again, nothing too crazy. She's just a really good character that I have. Now moving on to Yelan. Now I really love her design and her spy theme that she has going on about her character. I really like the spy theme because in a lot of the games that I play, I really like those kinds of characters. For example, Kafka. I know she's not a spy, but you know, she has a similar vibe to it. And Yinlin also. I really like those two characters because of that whole spy theme. And she's very, very helpful in exploration. So let's take a look at her stats. 80 crit rate, 240 crit damage on the dot. And then she has 158 energy recharge, so that's not bad. You know, she needs a lot of ER to constantly have her burst up. You know, I have her weapon as well. She is the first character that I actually did not have to spend for in terms of limited 5-star characters. So I'm really happy about that. And she's only C0R1. Nothing too crazy. Again, 6-10-10. Alright, so moving on to Mona. She was my very first standard 5-star character. And as you can see, I prefer her old skin a lot better than her new one. Her new one isn't that bad. I just think that there are too many stars all over, especially back here. To me, it feels a bit like over design-ish. I like this one more. It's a lot more cleaner. And yeah, I just like it a lot more. I also like her witch hat. It's pretty cool. Again, she's not really built and all of that. But however, I do have her at C4. I kept on losing to her throughout my entire 3 years of this account. So yeah, but you know, she's also one of my favorite characters. I will say though that she is the first character that has twin tails that, to me at least, does not appear childish. Now moving on to my very first main, Razor. Now he has a special place in my heart because again, he is my very first main and he has taken me all the way to Inazuma until I got Raiden. But I still didn't stop using him until I guess the start of Sumeru. And I bought the battle pass just for him so that I could get the serpent spine. Well, he doesn't have it on him right now. But yeah, I have it at R5. He's one of my favorites, I guess, because of that. And again, I really love electro characters. He's also at C3. His talents are 8, 6, 10. So again, nothing too crazy. It's just, you know, a character that I made for the very first time. The rest of my 5 stars, I won't get into depth with them because they don't really have anything crazy going on. But Xilonen, Kinich, and my Dia are favorite characters that I have. Alright, so now that we're done with the characters, let's move on to my inventory. Alright, so here's my inventory. As you can see, I have my 3 Staff of Omas here. I am not going to refine them just in case, you know, you never know, right? So nothing too crazy here. I don't have a lot of 5-star weapons. I do have a lot of 4 stars though. Here are my artifacts. I'm not gonna go through them. Here are just my materials. And food. Oh, these are materials. And then the gadgets here. Quest stuff. Precious items. I do have 24 fragile resin. I'm not using that yet because I don't know what to use it on. So it's just there. And then, yeah, furnishing stuff for the teapot. So alright, let's move on to my exploration. Alright, so now we're at the map. As you can see here, I did not pay too much attention to Mondstadt. You know, nothing too crazy. Only 100% progress. And I am not gonna go back to Dragon Spine. I'm not gonna complete this. As long as I got my wings, my glider, I'm almost set, man. Alright, so moving on to Lie. Again, nothing too crazy. Didn't complete any of these, I think. Yep. Even Chenyu Vale. And then let's move on to Inazuma. So again, did not complete any of it. Almost did with Yashiori Island. But Serai Island, Surimi Island, you know, nice. Nice. Alright, so moving on to Sumeru. It wasn't my favorite. In fact, it's my least favorite region to explore. You know, we have a few 70s here, not too bad. But I did not like the desert at all. I think it is too big to have nothing in it. You know, not a lot of plant life because obviously we're in the desert. And it's just a lot of sand everywhere. It just became boring and difficult to look at. So again, it's not my favorite region. Alright, so moving on to Fontaine. I love this region so much. As you can see, I have 200% progress and everything else is either nearing to 100% or 90 and above. Except for this one, but we'll round it up. It was my favorite region to explore. You know, not too big, but it also had its underground thing that I really liked as well. So yeah, again, I think Fontaine is just my favorite region out of all of the regions so far. Now let's move on to Natlan. Okay, so Natlan, again, nothing too crazy. It's all in the 70s. I didn't even unlock this yet. I'm, you know, saving my experience for the new portion of the map in my free-to-play account. So if you want to catch that live, you can follow my Twitch. Alright, so that's enough for exploration. Let's move on to my statues and reputation. Alright, so here's my statue for Mondstadt and then the rest of my statues in all of the other regions. I believe Mondstadt and Leah are the only ones that I completely maxed out. I wasn't using the interactive map at the time, and I'm not gonna bother, you know, looking for every oculi now. So I'm just gonna let it be. Alright, so here's my reputation for Mondstadt, Leah, Inazuma, Sumeru, Fontaine, and Natlan. Alright, so for those that care, here's my team history for the Spiral Abyss. So I'm just gonna go here, the ones that are already displayed right here. So, well, damn, Nivela is just doing everything, man. And then here, oh, we have Navia. And then these are for the rest of the Spiral Abysses. Alright, so now let's move on to our teapot. Alright, so for my teapot, nothing too crazy. I'm only at level 6. But if we actually go into my mansion, you will see that there is absolutely nothing in here. Alright? I honestly just shove characters that need friendship experience here. And I often pair them depending on how close they are in the actual story. Well, except for these two. But yeah, I don't know where else to put Candace. Yeah, nothing too crazy here. Absolutely nothing in here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this account review. It was nice looking back at my own account. I'll probably still play it here and there when I have the time. For now, my free-to-play account takes priority. I also learned how hard it is to make content on the spot while still covering all of the topics I want to say, especially in a concise way. I'll have to work on that, and I'm sure I will develop that skill over time. As always, I would appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe to my channel, as it means a lot and helps a lot. Catch me on Twitch as well. I mostly stream around 5 PM Philippine time from Wednesdays to Saturdays. Alright, she sat down. I'ma sit down as well. Alright, y'all take care, man. Alright, bye.